Hi everybody, welcome to another episode of Win Your Daily Battles. For today's episode, I'd like to answer the question commonly asked by my co-cancer survivors online if they should express and vocalize their diagnosis on social media. Well, it's actually a very personal decision. I'll share what I think, and based on my experience, how it worked for me and how it didn't work for me. We all have a different way of coping with tragedy. Every time we have our battles in life, we have this way of attacking it in very different ways. What works for me may not work for you or vice versa. So it's really hard to tell if being vocal and being very open in public will work for you, but it could. Like for me, it's a series. It's a journey of ups and downs. So there's good sides and bad sides. It just also depends how far you want to take being public about it. Because in my case, I've always been a public figure in the Philippines, and so it's just so natural for me to put out a story because either way, I feel like the media's gonna know about it anyway, so might as well have it come from me directly instead of having someone else spill the beans and then it might have a different story altogether. So I would just rather say it. At least it came from me and it's the truth, right? Instead of it being like a rumor. Okay, so let me tell you how it worked for me. Like, what are the pros and what are the cons? In my experience, I think the biggest challenge when you become very open on social media about a diagnosis is you become stereotyped. It becomes your image somehow. Or we call it pigeonholed. You get pigeonholed in this image of, oh, she's the cancer chick. Like right now, I would much prefer for people to see me as someone who is going through hard times, but she keeps persisting anyway, or this immigrant in America who is making her dreams come true, even if she's battling with cancer and having all these health problems. But because of vocalizing the journey I've had, people just associate me with cancer. Which, it can be good and bad, but sometimes, I'd rather be seen as a person. I'm not a disease, but you can't help for other people to just see you that way. And especially now, this is the third time I've had it, so you can't help but get associated with this stigma. And it's really hard to rebrand if you want to see a different side of the story and want to present yourself in a different light. It's just very hard to get out of that cancer hole and the cancer peg. And the second would be sometimes it's hard to filter the reactions of people in social media. I mean, you can't really blame them if they say things out of concern or they want to connect with you, but sometimes the comments are not appropriate. Like for example, if you're having a really, really bad day and you're not feeling encouraged with what's going on, and then suddenly you open your social media and you see people sharing about the people they know who died of cancer, who has the same diagnosis as you, but then they didn't make it, of course it's going to make you feel anxious instead of feel good, even if they're coming from a good intention of just wanting to share and wanting to connect and relate with you. You really can't control that because people will always try to message you and it's their way of showing love, but sometimes you get rubbed the wrong way and you just have to deal with it. So that's one negative thing that really sometimes bogs me down. Although now it's becoming better, I think people are learning how to support cancer survivors better because of the presence of online information. I would say the third con would be people pity you sometimes, even if they don't really know you. If they're following you on social media and they meet you in person, some of them treat you with respect and that they vocalize how they got inspired by you, but some of them just look at you and they get really awkward. Look at you as if you're a living dead or this is a live funeral, and you just want to comfort them and say, hey, do I look like I'm dying? I'm not dying. I'm fine. I still have treatments and I'm not in the hospital bed. I'm not on hospice. So I'm good. Relax, chill out. Don't be frightened or don't freak out. But I did have some people look at me weird when they know about my diagnosis because of my online platforms. And you can't blame them because maybe they haven't encountered someone with a diagnosis and they just don't know how to react. That's a daily little battle I have sometimes, that I always have to comfort people instead of making them feel that there is hope. I think they're manifesting or they're projecting their fears on me, which can be a little weird. But again, I can't blame them. We're all humans. No one is wrong or right. It's a way of reacting, I guess. And then the fourth con would be sometimes it can get stressful to always think of what to post. Because when you start posting about your journey, people want to know what's going on. And sometimes you just kind of want to stop for a while or decompress. But if you're gone too long, then your subscribers will lose interest. And so you need to constantly pump out content. And sometimes it does get a little overwhelming. Like in my case, I really love vlogging. I love talking. I love inspiring people. And that's why I created Win Your Daily Battles, because I feel like in my simple way of sharing my story and how I go about my day-to-day life, being active on treatment, I'm sure it inspires other people. But sometimes I do lose ideas and get tired and entertain the thought that maybe I should stop this, maybe it's not worth it. And I do have certain family members and friends who think what I'm doing is just giving me more stress instead of living a simple life. But I cannot just fucking shut up. With all this experience, I think it needs to be shared because people are inspired. And I know the feeling of being a cancer patient who feels isolated and no one can really relate to you. So it's nice to have someone to watch and to listen to that really feels what you're feeling, and you can see that there's still hope at the end of the dark tunnel. Look at me now. I'm still here, alive with hair and with energy, although a little bit reduced from treatments, but still here, rocking it, right? Okay, so now let's proceed to the pros. What are the pros if you're gonna decide to be vocal online about your diagnosis? Number one, it gives you this outlet, an emotional outlet, a creative outlet to just speak what's in your mind, to just exhale and share to the world what's going on. It's done for you because it just lets you breathe through words and through art. And that for me is like the biggest bonus of being out and about online. Just putting it out there gives me this space to breathe. And the second advantage would be you get to connect with other people and surprise yourself that there's a big group of people who would want to help you and support you in the journey. I've made so many good friends out of strangers from being vocal on social media. I've also attracted some sponsors who gave me certain gifts that will help me with the journey, which is amazing. But I think that is just a big bonus, but it's more the connection, the human connection that you establish from people who just want to reach out. You know, it makes you feel that humanity is alive when you vocalize your adversity on the internet. And then the third pro would be it's such a good way to inspire other people and uplift, because you'll never know who you're inspiring just by sharing your story, just by telling people that you're going through really, really shitty times, but you're managing to look good and move forward and maintain the positive attitude. It still gives you that feeling of, hey, I am sharing this because I want to inspire people, which is my objective. I do want people to see that life is not perfect and daily battles will always come and go, but it's really up to us how we move forward. And so far, I've been successful in inspiring a lot of people, especially you guys who are solid and staying in my journey. The fourth pro would be it gives you this accountability, because especially me, I don't have kids. My family is in the Philippines. I do have friends here and a good support system. I just need a reason to keep going. And I think if I am not telling social media about what's going on with me, I will just be lying down in bed. Like right now, see, I got up, I got dressed, I'm recording because I want people to see that I'm doing well, and there's that accountability that, hey, a lot of people are rooting for for me to win and to keep going. So I'm not gonna let them down. I'm gonna get up, dress up, do my recording, and share this to the world, because I know that someone's gonna eventually watch this and get inspired. So that accountability just pushes you to keep going. And to all the haters out there as well, you wanna prove them wrong that, hey bitches, even if I've got a diagnosis, I'm still looking good and rocking it. So it gives you that push to like go after life and hold it by the horns and really attack full force. It's something like, you know that someone's watching you, so you need to not give up. The fact that I know that I have to pump out an episode and I have people rooting for me gives me this motivation to inspire, uplift, and empower. That sums up basically the pros and cons of vocalizing yourself on social media if you're thinking about it. Now, at the end of the day, it's really up to you. If you're the type that deals with things on their own and you want to be more private, then I think being online might be too much, because I'm telling you, it can get too much. Even me, I've been a social media blogger or influencer or whatever term it is for like 2.5 years, and I still have moments where I feel like I want to give up doing this because I feel like it's nonsense. I'm putting out my life, my story, but I just think that, you know, this is not really getting me anywhere. But then I keep coming back because it's something I truly love. That's why I keep going for it. And once you see your following getting bigger and bigger and you're touching a lot of lives, you know that people are getting inspired. It's gonna keep you wanting to put out more and more. But then again, if you choose to just be public about your diagnosis, maybe on a smaller scale with just a few friends, it's also good because you can elicit some support and some comfort from the people that are close to you. So I'm gonna leave it to you to choose your battle. What battle works for you? I think the cons of sharing the journey for me online is worth it and I can handle it, as compared to being private and getting lost in my own thoughts. As an artist, and I become very quiet, I just get lost in my own head. So having an outlet like this gives me breathing room. So what do you think? Do you think that vocalizing and being public on social media about your health diagnosis is something for you or not? Let me know by reacting, give me a comment, or email me at jamiewins@gmail.com, or visit my website www.jamiewins.com if you want to react to it. And I hope you also follow my social media. I'm on Instagram and Facebook. Both are Jamie Wins as well. And I'd love to know what you think and hopefully connect. Share your journey if you're a blogger as well who would like to collaborate on something. I'm totally down. Just let me know. Or maybe we can do a podcast show together. I am right here. So just hit me up and let's set something up. Do a win-win situation. Thank you so much for watching and listening to the Win Your Daily Battles episode today. Winning your battles is not a one-shot deal. It's a day-to-day journey. Each day you're faced with a little hardship, and all you need to do is get through that and take it one day at a time, one step at a time. And before you know it, you've already achieved the goal. Choose your battles. Let's see if publicizing your health is something that's in tune for you or not. Let me know. I'd love to know about your journey. I will see you again on the next episode. This is Jamie signing off. Let's keep winning.